All right. So now let me just give you a brief introduction of what we already have studied, and we will look at some rules for defining variables, and we look at some more terminologies like declaration and assignment, and then we look at the data types that we already know. But let's have a rules for declaring variables and use different variables to assign values to them, and see the difference between, again, between float and double, and see some costing at the end of this lecture. All right, so in the previous class we discussed about these sections. So this is in a header section that we already know. This is a header section of C++ program, and that is input and output stream. That's mean C in and C out is defined inside input and output stream inside namespace std. All right, and in this program, C++ program, we only have two statements. One statement is printing hello world, another statement is printing how are you. All right, and we have some comments. These comments our output one line, and these comments output another line, and these comments will be ignored by the compiler, and it will not affect your C++ program. All right, and this is what we have seen just now, that the spaces that appear outside the quotation mark generally do not affect the behavior of the program. So that's why in this program we just remove the spaces, but these are valid statements. So we have int main, we have co two angle brackets, and then we have this statement is a complete, and we have another statement that is also a complete statement, and it will print goodbye and wonderful world. All right, and both will be on the same line because we are not using endl here. So that's mean we have goodbye and wonderful world. All right, and we call these header section the libraries that we include inside the header section. These are called preprocessor directories, and to include those we use keyword include and the name of the header files. And the most common one is input and output stream. And why we use input and output stream? Because scene co are declared in the header file input in an output stream, but within the namespace std. All right, and if we do not include this using namespace st, then we need to use in like this syntax: std colon colon c out and then hello world. It will print hello world. All right, and all right, so moving next, so this is your entry point of C++ program, that is int main. And int main you can have n number of statements. So we, in the previous slides we have seen two statements, hello world and how are you. Then you can have multiple statements that could be declaring variables, printing messages, defining function, using loops, whatever you want. All right, so let's look at the syntax. So the syntax is that we have int main, that's the your entry point of C++ program, and then the opening curly bracket and the closing curly brackets. That's the block where we need to write our C++ program. And we have statement n, statement 1 to statement n we can have in your C++ program. All right, and what will be the output of this will output only a one curly brackets. The difference between the difference here between string and with double quotes and this curly bracket with single quote is that string is a data type, and we use double quotes with the combination of characters. But if you have only one character, then we use single quotes, and that's another data type, that is a character data type. All right, we have just one curly bracket, it will only print one curly bracket because this is just a character here. All right, so what are values? So variable hold values. And why we need variables? Because we need to store values, we need to do evaluation, we need to do some arithmetic operation on that. So we can do multiple operations on values. So value is one of the fundamental things like letter or a number that program manipulates. All right, and we have only seen so far the value like hello world, and but we will see few more values in a few minutes. And the types, their types are important. There are many different kind of values, like the types that we just have discussed, that we have different data types. We have integer data type, that mean we can have a numbers, whole numbers like 1 or 17. And then if it's a character data type, then we have single characters like a or 5. All right. All right, so we have different kind of data types. That's we have integer data type, we have character data type that I have explained in a explained you a few minutes ago, that that is that if you have only one character, this is an example of character data type. And then we have short, then we have int. mm, so we have different kind of data types. That's mean we have seen integer data type and character data type, but we have more other, and we have many other data types, like we have long, we have bool is true and false. And then we have floating points, that will be your float. And the other data type will be double. And what's the difference between float and doubles? I will explain in a few minutes. So int takes 4 bytes. 4 bytes mean 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, and 4 bytes mean you have 8 into 4, it will be 32 bits. Bool take 1 byte in the memory, and character take 1 byte. Long take 64 bytes. And there is a method that can also tell you how many bytes data type take in the memory. That method name is sizeof. We will see in a few minutes the sizeof method. All right. So this is an example of integer data types. So you can save these kind of values in int data types, and then bool will be either true or false. And the purpose, this is just a boolean operation. We can perform boolean expression. If it is true, we will do an action. If it is false, we will do another action. So we will look at if else later in this course. But bool is will be a true or false. We have only two options here. Boolean data type, that's called Boolean data type. All right, so we have float data type, that the difference between float, that it takes 4 bytes, and double takes 8 bytes in the memory. And the maximum number of significant digits, decimal places, for float values are 6 or 7. And maximum number of significant digits for double will be 15. All right, so we will see this example in a few minutes, that actually we already have studied, but let's see in a few minutes this example one more time. All right, then what are variables? So one of the most powerful feature of programming language is the ability to manipulate variables. All right, and variable is name location that store a value. All right, and these are sometimes also called identifiers. Okay, variables, identifiers, they also known as identifiers as well. And we have some rules to define variables. For example, variables must begin with a letter or underscore. All right, and and this is a valid variable name, because we are saying that must begin with letter or underscore. So this is where with an underscore. Variable one is a valid variable name. It's a combination of characters and numbers. Name is a valid variable name, can contains letters, digits, and underscores. So this is a valid variable name. Underscore variable 2, letters and numbers, sum 1, data 3. So these are a valid variable names. And variables are case sensitive. That means these are three different variables: total, and total, because here all small letter with capital T, and these all capital letters. All right, so now you cannot use reserved keywords for to declare a variable. So reserved keywords, that mean int is a data type, that's a reserved keyword, you cannot use as a variable name. While we use for loops, return cannot be used as a variable name. And then there are many other variable reserved keywords I will show you in a few minutes. And you cannot use a variable name. Even compiler will give you some hints that this is a reserved keyword, you cannot use as a variable name. And case sensitivity, we discuss case sensitivity. And no special character except underscore. So that means you can only use underscore. This is not a valid variable name, not valid, not valid. So these are not valid variables. And no spaces allowed. Valid or these two are valid, but look at this variable my, and then space variable is invalid in C++ programming. And I think the rule is same for other programming languages as well. For example, I am teaching Python, so the same rule there, and in PHP the same rule there, JavaScript the same rule there, and then C sharp the same rule, or I think the same rule for all, no spaces allowed. All right, so look at some now. Let's look at some keywords that we we discussed, that these are the reserved keywords, so cannot be used variable names like bool, and break. And bool is a data type. Break we use when we use break in loops, but we'll discuss later in this course. But it cannot be, this a reserved keyword, cannot be used. If else, these are conditional statements, cannot be used variables. Then while, then or, so continue, among many other keywords. So these cannot be used as a variables. All right. All right. So now moving next, we let me zoom in again. So we discussed case sensitivity. So this number is not the same as number. So that's mean, in C++ compiler will treat these two these two variables as a different variables. All right. And okay, so now we discuss some rules of variables. Now let's discuss about few more terminologies. One is called declaration and second is assignment. So in declaration we just create new variables and we assign value later in C++ program. All right, let's say we have character first letter, let's say initial of my first name, and character last letter, and then we have in hour and minutes, and these are just a declaration. We will assign these values later in C++ program. All right. And why we have both these variable in a single line separated with comma, if data type of more than even two or one or two variable is the same data type, okay, then you can separate with comma and use integer, because both are of same data type. Okay, so that's mean you can just separate with comma. Otherwise, how can I declare the same variable? Then will be int hour semicolon, int minute semicolon, and let's say you have another one, then you need to declare another one like int another variable semicolon. But if both are of same data type, then you can simply separate with comma. All right. So now I'm assigning values. So first letter is a character. All right. So this is a character data type, and then our 11s and minutes. Let's say we have 59 minutes, and these are comments on the right side. All right, and this will be ignored by the compiler. And warning, this is important, that you have declared a variable int hour and you are assigning a string value. That's wrong, because you cannot do that. The variable that you declare must match the type of the value assigned to it. So it must be, you declare it's integer, that means you need to assign integer value to it. All right. All right. So we have seen a few data types, integer, character, and now let's look at string. String, some variables should hold string values, right? Yes, we, let's say my name is a string variable. Okay, and string data type isn't a built into C++, like character, int, double, but this is available in a standard library that is used in your header section. So that the name of library is also a string. All right, include string. That's mean if you need to include in your header section, and then you will be able to declare a variable of data type, string type of string type of variables. All right. And let's say I need to say my first name, then that will be a string first name, because this is not a built-in. So that's mean I need to include this library in my header section of C++ program. All right. And that's an example of string variable. So that's, so we have include string in the header section, and then we have the same header section using namespace std, and this is in a svo, subject, verb, and object. It's just a complete sentence, and string sentence subject is boy, sentence verb is 8, and string sentence object and apple. So and we are just trying to display a boy ate and an apple. All right, so it's just an one sentence. So we declare three variables of data type string. All right, and if let's say let's try to solve this task. So let's say we love you love your car and you decide to keep track of its make and model and year. For the sake of this problem, suppose you drive 2024, and so I'm recording in 2024, so that's mean Honda is you love your model is your make is Honda and your model is Civic, and the year is 2024. So you need to print like that way. My car is Honda and car model is Civic and car year is 2024. Let's write this program, and then you will get an idea of different data types and declaring string variables as well. Alright, so this is what we discussed, that I need to include a library that name is string in the header section, and I need to print this message, this statement actually. My car make is Honda, car model is Civic, and car. So now let's declare variables. That means I need make, that will be string make is equal to Honda, and semicolon complete statement string model is Civic, and then int year is equal to 2024 because this value is integer data type. All right, and all right, so we have three variables. You see the color of these data types. So this string is looks like a light green. This is also showing another color, and let's say I have, instead of using here, I can use int. So you cannot have, so that's the rule of declaring variables. So that's mean that will be here, and now I need to replace these values. Let concat let let's close here and concat with make, and then again concat with string car and model. We have model. Let's close string here again. Let concat again, and we have model. There we have variable model. Let's concat again, close this, and let's have a string again, close the, and then my car here is, let's close the string here and concat here, that is here, and then anything else, and then break the line. Let's break the line. All right, looks nice to me, and everything is fine. Now let's run this one, control S, and I'm using a command based G++, so it's a window based operating system. I'm using a G++ compiler. Name of my file is variable dot c, not variable, it's var a, no, it's speaking the wrong file, variables underscore types. Now it picked the right file, type.cpp. The name of output file will be, let's say, var ta dot type. So it will create a new file on the left side that will be an exe file, and you will see it will come here after it completes this execution. So we have var type exe. All right, so now I like to run this one, dot var, again speaking the wrong file, var type dot exe. All right, so you see my car make is Honda, car model is Civic, and car is 2024. All right, now let's go back to our slides, and in this is, you can have this task and try to run this on your PCs, and declare an integer variable that will be an age and assign it to your age, declare a character variable and assign initial, then declare a string variable. Let's do it because you will get more idea how to declare and assign value. Let me comment these all. The short command is control forward slash, it will comment these all lines. And what this program is in integer variable, So that means int age is equal to, let's say my age is 30. This is just a random number. Declare character, uh, that would be chr character initials. My initials is equal to, this is just a character with single quote r, complete statement, and declare a string variable name, string, let's say last name, just my last name, and this is my last name, and then declare, print the following: hello, my last name is cout, cout, and hello, my last name is, and then I need to concat last name, and then I need to concat the dot. That's mean I just need dot in this string, dot, and then I need to concat I am, again I need string I am, and then what else I need, I am, then I need age, concat my age, and then I need to again concat years, years old, and my initial is, and okay, so this is a part of string, and my initial is, I need to concat initial, what variable we have, my initial, my initials. All right, and then break the line, and all right, so I think everything's fine. Now control s, use the same method, g plus var type. I, oh, with this is raising an error. Do, oh, I have two angle brackets. I need to move this. Even it's not generating an error, but it's an error. It was highlighting. Compiler is highlighting something is wrong here. Anyway, now let's run again. No, I don't have this issue, and you'll see. Hello, my last name is, okay. It merged together. I need to put a space here, like here, and I'm 30 years old. That means I need to put one space here, and my initial is R. All right, so everything is fine. All right, okay, so you can do this. No, that task is also look interesting. So it's saying prompt the user to enter their age. So that's mean before we assigning values, now we need to take as an input from user. All right, so programming is all about taking input from user. It's not about assigning value, manually assigning values. Why? Because look at the forms on facebook.com. They have forms, we input the values. Then Google sign up for Gmail account, we sign up, we give inputs, okay, and then we get the email account at the end. All right, so programming is all about taking input from users. Okay, so that's now prompt the user. All right, so now let's look at one more method that is we have seen, cout, that we have used before, that is cout character out, and that is defined in input and output stream. The other one is seeing, when we take input from user. So let's say I just like to take input as age from user, so that's me. I just need to declare age, and cout, I put a message. I'm just modifying this program, please enter your age. All right, and where I need to store this one, that will be seen method age. I like to store this value to age instead of manually assigning this value, so I use control forward slash to command this line 15, this statement 15. All right, so now if I run this program, it will first ask me to, it's a prompt, it will ask me to enter your age first. Okay, and you'll see, so I just compile it and I run this, and you see now it's saying please enter your age. Let's say I enter 33. You remember in the previous program we used 30, it displayed 30, but now it must show 33. Okay, hello, my last name is this one, and I'm 33 years old, and my initial is R. So that's, this is how you can take input from users. Okay, that task is very interesting, so you can look at this, maybe adding few more prompts. So you can take almost everything as a prompt from user, prompt the user to enter the first letter Prompt the user to enter the last name and print the following message. All right. Okay, that was a solution that we have just seen. And what this program is doing, this program is just printing. Okay, so look at this program. So we have we have just a declaration, and then we assign values, and at the end we just displayed the values. All right, so that's the difference. You can also declare and assign, but here we just declare and then we assign later in our C++ code. What will be the output of this program? The output of this program is exactly the same thing that I just discussed, that now I have assign, declare and assign, declare and assign, declare and assign. All right, floating point numbers. So this is we discuss that float takes the decimal precision will be 6 and 5, significant digits will be 6 and 5, 6 and 7, and for double that will be 15. And the size of method is used to see the data type, how many bytes it takes in the memory. So let's put a separation here, cout, okay, cout, and I like to put a separation, so that I like to show you one method and break the line. And cout, I like to say message, what is the size of int, let's say just an int. And concat with sizeof is a method, built-in method, and inside I will provide integer, and again I break the line, and it will display something. The size of int will be, we already know it takes 4 bytes in the memory. All right, and if I run this one, again, uh okay, so I have a syntax error here. I need to put two angle brackets, and then now it's a valid. And if I run this one, and you will see, please enter your age. Let's say now I have 36, my age, and you see what is the size of int, that is a 4 byte, because that method is used to know how many bytes it takes in the memory. All right, what else we have? So that's now is your task. Oh, that's also very interesting, and we we actually discussed in the previous lecture the difference between float and double. Let's do it right now. So we have, I like to show the div to you like to show you the difference between float and double, which is very important. Okay, and let me put separation here again, cout and l, and also put a separation with again a line. And let's say I'm gonna declare two variable, float pi val is equal to this value, and double pi val is equal to this value. Both values are exactly same. I like to show you the difference between, and we already know that the pi takes, let me put comment, it takes 4 bytes in the memory, and double take 8 bytes in the memory. All right. All right, so now I like to include this library in the header section, include iomanip to set position for 6 decimal precision and for the 8 decimal precision, and cout fixed precision for this one. Let's this one here. So now I like to see the difference. Okay, now let's with 6 precision set, I set precision for 6 of after decimal point I will have 6 values. All right, so now let's print out uh, float 6, and I just going to display pi val, float pi val, and also put float because both values variables are same, and let's make it double, that will be pi float. And then break the line, and also just copy paste the same line and make it by val double. All right, and just copy almost everything and put it here, and now set precision to 15 decimal point, and also copy this line from here to have a separation here. Okay, I like to show you the difference. All right, so now let's run this program, and let me comment these all things we don't need. That will be control select all and control forward slash. Okay, so it will comment all these lines, and now we are trying to see the difference between float and double. All right, I run the program, and okay, let's compare the values. So it's saying 3.141593, 3.14153. Oh, let's make it double so you can see it clearly the difference. And let's run again. And now that's the difference. Okay, so these both values are same for 6 decimal precisions. But after 6, float 3.149, and after that this is some random values from memory. All right, these are not the value we assigned. We assign this one. If you look at 3.1451592, and after that it's 6 5 3 5 8 9 7 9 3, that we exactly have for the double. Okay, so that's mean double can have what we discussed before, that double, where is double, here is double, that the maximum number of significant digits for double is 15. You see that we can save up to 15 decimal points. So these are done. We have the exact value that we assign. So after 6 7, float cannot save it, but double can save it. And I also think I made a mistake here. Let's change it to 15 because these are 15 decimal. All right, now let's look at, so we have look at the rules, case sensitivity, declaration, assignment, warnings, and that task we did another task. We also took input from user. We look at this task, float, precision differences, memory size. Okay, float take 4, double take 8, and this is what we have just discussed. And constant variables, very important in this concept, and that constant variables cannot be changed. Okay, account once you initialize them, initialize variables whose value cannot change is called constant variables. All right, and this is a constant variable. You need to, it's a keyword is const, const, const int max student. That's the 30 students we have. You cannot override their values. All right, I can give you an example. Let me comment almost everything again, because again I'm teaching very important concept here. That is, let me comment these all things, all statements, and let's say int x is equal to 6 and int x is equal to x plus 1. Okay, and if I see out x, what will be the value? It will be 7. All right, I run the program. Oh, also you no need to put x one more time integer because we already declare it. And and let me run the program, and you will see you'll get 7. So that's when I override the value. But this is not true for constant variables. You cannot override, otherwise compiler will raise an error. Okay, that it will say it's a read-only variable, you cannot change it. And you must be thinking where we can use these kind of variables. We can use these kind of variables when we have we don't want someone intentionally or unintentionally change the values. All right, so that's when we have this program. If we look at this program, we have constant float interest rate 3.5. Okay, this is a fixed rate, nobody can change it. and the principal amount is $1000, and we have 5 years, and then that's the formula to calculate your interest. All right, so nobody can change it. All right, so we have another library that is called math library, and inside math library we can perform different mathematical operations, and that library is called cmath. Okay, look at this library in the header section, that is cmath. Cmath, that's mean we have double side square, double area square, and then inside cmath this method is defined sqrt. Sqrt is defined in cmath. Okay, and then you can find the area of, or area of 49. Okay, and so there are many other methods. For reference, if you look at this link, there are many other methods that this library provide, like cosine, sine, tangent, and log 10, exponential functions. Okay, this is what we have seen, square root and power of. Okay, so these all function provided to you by cmath library. Okay, so instead of writing a program from scratch, you can simply call this method from this library, and you will get your output. All right, what else? So now let's look at some arithmetic expressions. Actually, programming is all about doing arithmetic expressions, evaluating expressions, and applying conditions on expressions. So we have, so expression is a combination of variables. It's a combination of variables, literals, operators in parentheses that evaluate to a value. Okay, so we have variable here x, then we have literals. Okay, so that's not literals, and then we have operators, that multiplication is operators, and then these parentheses that we have. And this is an expression, and a common example of expression, that expression, a common place where expression are using always be on the right side. Okay, so this is a variable, and we have expression on the right side, and literal is so these two here is a literal, and as operator is a symbol that performs built-in calculation like plus, minus, and division, modulus, among many others. So we have arithmetic operators. We have these arithmetic operators, adding two number, then we can subtract two number, multiplications, and division. All right, and this is same for all programming language, not for C++. All right, and to in C++, now you see that I'm using std. Why? Because I haven't included the std namespace here, so that's mean I need to use std to see out these statements. So this program is just adding two numbers. We have 10 and 5. It will print 15. It will print 5, and that will be 50. Division by 2, modulus will be 0. All right, and that's an output using the compiler that we have from our book. It just print out adding number, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. All right, then we have relational operators. These are very important, that actually we use for conditions. What are relational operators? So in relational operators, we have, let's say we have value a is equal to 10, b is equal to 5, and in relational operators you get boolean values, true or false, true or false. All right, so a is equal to 10, b is equal to 5. Do you think a is equal to b? No, it's false, you will get 0. A not equal to b, yes, that's true, you will get 1. And a greater than b, yes, it's true, you'll get 1. And a less than b, no, false, you will get 0. All right, a greater than equal to b, no, yes, it's true, you will get 1. And a is less than equal to b, no, it's false, you will get 0. These are very important that we will use in conditions when we will study if else, nested if else, and nested if else blocks. So we will discuss these later in this course. All right. And logical operators are important when we need to check multiple conditions, and multiple conditions mean both in logical, two most important are one are and other one is or. And mean both needs to be true, and or at least one needs to be true. Both needs to be true mean that a is equal to 10, b is equal to 5. A greater than b, true. A less than 20, true. Both are true, true, 1. So it's a logical and operation. Okay. And if you like to see the truth table, that what is the truth table of logical and gate. So that's in both condition needs to be true. All right. If I go to images, and I can show you this is the one. 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0, both needs to be true. 1 1 1. All right. And for r at least one needs to be true. Okay. A greater than b, true, but b is less than 0. No, it's greater than 0, it's 5. That is false, but 1 0 1, at least one needs to be true. We will look at some real examples later in this course, but just try to understand some concepts at this point. Alright, so then what is an order of operation? So order operation is very important. When you have an expression, you need to know what is an order. Alright, so if we look at, mm, that is the same. So at some point it's same, the same rule we applied in mathematics and same rule in programming as well, that multiplication and division happen before addition and subtraction. So that's mean 2 into 3 minus 1 will be 5, not 4. That means 3 minus 1, 2 into 2, not 4. That multiplication will happen first. And the second, if the operators have the same precedence, that means if you have multiplication and division both are in the same line, then they evaluate it from left to right, okay. So left to right means that this will give result first, and then this division will happen later, okay, because this is left to right rule. And anytime you want to override the rules of precedence, you can simply put this parentheses, okay. So that's mean 3 minus 1 will give result first. That means 3 minus 2 into 2 into 4, that is 4, okay. So you can override their rules, and this is exactly the same thing we did, that put parentheses here, 59 into 1000, and then divide by 60. All right, so that's an example. Another example that we have x is equal to 4, w is equal to 2, and what will happen first? So these parentheses will happen first because we override the rules. So that's mean 10 into 2 by w, and we got 5, and then 5 into 4, because again they are in parentheses, that will be 9, and then later we have 9 into 3, we have 27, okay. And that's another way of doing the same thing. They saying that this is a preferred way of doing the same thing, because we have less parentheses here, but we put more parentheses because we want 10 into 2 to happen first, and then we move to